ever get this feeling? Like what we think we know about the universe, about our place in it, it's all about to change. And today, we're diving deep into that feeling.
Yeah, and what's really got people talking is that we're not talking about, shaky videos or dubious sightings this time. We're talking about people with serious backgrounds, military intelligence, advanced tech, that sort of thing.
Exactly. I mean, David Grusch, just for starters, this isn't some guy ranting in his basement. This is a former intelligence officer who was investigating UAPs for the government.
And just as a reminder to everyone, by UAPs, we're talking about unidentified aerial phenomena, which, by the way, is a term you're hearing more and more these days. Even the government's getting a bit more official about it all.
Okay, so Grusch is investigating UAPs, and then what? It's not like he just quit because the coffee was bad, right?
Yeah.
What happened?
Not quite. Though, who knows what goes on in those government break rooms? No, Grusch, he went and filed a whistleblower complaint. And this is where it gets juicy. He alleges that the U.S. government has this whole secret program. And it's not just studying UFO sightings. They're studying recovered UFOs, actual craft. He even goes as far as to say they've got hold of non-human biologics.
Wait, back up a sec. Did you just say non-human biologics? Is that what I think it is?
Pretty much. Grusch is claiming that these biologics are evidence of recovered alien craft, possibly even,
The pilots. Okay, you officially lost me at pilots. But let's say, for argument's sake, that this Grusch guy is on the level. How can we even be sure any of this is legit? I mean, proving this kind of stuff is almost impossible.
Right.
It's incredibly difficult, you're right. Without that irrefutable proof, it's easy to dismiss. But here's where it gets even more interesting, at least for me. Because, you see, some of what Grusch describes actually lines up with claims from way back. Another pretty intriguing figure, actually, Bob Lazar.
Oh, right, Bob Lazar. Okay, remind me about him.
So rewind to the 1980s. Lazar comes forward claiming he worked at this super-secret base, S4, supposedly near Area 51, which, let's be real, already has that whole mystique about it. Anyway, Lazar said he was working on reverse engineering alien tech.
Hold on. Like actual alien tech. What did that even entail? What was he doing? Changing the oil on a flying saucer?
Well, not quite. Lazar claimed he was working on propulsion systems, said they were based on element 115. Now, this was huge yee at the time, because element 115 wasn't even something we knew existed back then. He described all sorts of incredible stuff. Anti-gravity tech, wild energy sources. It sounded like something straight out of Star Trek, really.
Okay, but how does this tie back into Grusch?
So some of the tech Grusch describes, the way these recovered crafts supposedly work, the propulsion, the energy sources, it's all eerily similar to what Lazar was talking about all those years ago.
You're kidding. For decades, this guy Lazar was basically written off as, well, bit of a cook. But now
you've got Grusch, who seems credible, saying similar things. And it's not just them. The government itself is changing how it's talking about UAPs. Suddenly, Lazar's wild stories don't seem so far-fetched anymore.
And it's not just like conspiracy websites covering this, right? I mean, I saw something on the New York Times website just the other day, and they're about as mainstream as you get.
Exactly. The fact that the government's basically admitting they don't have all the answers about UAPs, that's a huge shift. It's like the world's finally ready to at least entertain the idea that we might not be alone.
So let's just pretend for a minute that it's all true. Grusch, Lazar, the government, the whole shebang.
Yeah.
What then? How does that change things?
Oh, man, it changes everything. Our understanding of physics, biology, even history. Imagine what we could accomplish if we could figure out how alien tech works. The breakthroughs we could make.
Right. New energy sources, space travel that actually makes sense. We could be talking about a whole new era for humanity.
Absolutely, but it goes deeper than that. If we're not alone in the universe, what does that do to our understanding of our place in it all? Our whole philosophy, our religions, even our art, it's a fundamental shift.
Wow. It's almost too much to process. So where do we go from here? Are more people going to come forward like Grusch? Will the government ever actually come clean about any of this?
Honestly, it's hard to say, but the more attention this gets, and IS getting a lot of attention these days, I think we're going to see more people coming forward. Maybe some with even more compelling stories than Grusch. And hey, who knows, maybe someday we'll see that big official announcement. Hey, everyone, we're not alone.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Full government disclosure. That would be something else. But what about us? What about humanity? Do you think we're ready for that kind of revelation?
Now that is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Making contact with another intelligent species, it could be the thing that brings humanity together, or it could tear us apart.